Hello, Year 6. Welcome to your Maths for Wednesday. Thank you for those of you who've been sending work in. I've seen fantastic decimal work so far from lots of you. Malia, I know you were really careful with your presentation of your place value work, so thank you for that. And Nathan, I see you've been bashing through it. Let's keep the presentation as neat as we can, mate. I really appreciate that. I'm going to set you a bit of a challenge this week, Year 6, because you're going to be up against all the rest of the school in TT Rockstars, and I'm going to make your times tables tricky. So you're going to have a bit of a battle to try and win there. Today in our maths lesson, your main video later on, we'll be thinking about representing decimals as fractions. So understanding, for example, 0.5 is a half, 0.25 is a quarter, and working through greater detail like that. Today in our recap session, we're going to be looking at angles on a straight line. So this will be a really important one. When you're doing some of this work, make sure you've got either a ruler or a pencil to draw your lines against, because you need a straight line to then veer from for your angles. So we're thinking about these angles in relation to a straight line, and therefore we start by thinking about 180. Now, if Chiron were here, he would be going 180. And that's because 180 is really important as a score in darts, but it's also really important when we're looking at angles. Remember, the whole way round a clock face or a whole way around a circle is 360 degrees. So therefore, half the way around is 180 degrees. What you've got to first of all do is see if you can spot pairs of number that total 180. So if I had 100, I'd put it with 80. Well done. See if you can spot the other four pairs. Go. Spot another one. I spotted one. Can you spot another one? I spotted two. Okay, well done if you've spotted all of those. So some of them are kind of easier than otherwise, but the two 90s together is an important one to remember, because right angle plus right angle makes 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is pivotal. It's really important within our understanding of angles on a straight line. Okay, now we've got three facts in two columns. Okay, we've got to match the fact to the degrees. Okay, so I've already said what two lots of right angles is, because one right angle is 90 degrees. So what was that, Nathan? Yeah, it's 180. See if you can match the other two. Go. Okay, just to demonstrate that point, if we have a straight line and then we have a right angle from it, a right angle plus a right angle. So above the red pen, below the red pen is two right angles. So that's 180 degrees. Three right angles, therefore, is 90 plus 90 plus 90, so 270 degrees. And the degrees on two straight lines, so 180 plus 180 makes 360 degrees. Okay, it's two straight lines. Okay, is it true or is it false that 91 degrees plus 79 degrees makes 180 degrees? We've got the 9 plus the 1, so I'm thinking maybe it is correct because it adds to a multiple of 10. Have a think. Well done, Yusuf. It is incorrect because that makes 170. And those number pairs where we have a sum which results in 180 are really important when we're looking at angles on a straight line. So 91 plus 79 makes 170. So well done for working through that, year 6. Okay. Next one here, we know therefore that a horizontal line or a vertical line has 180 degrees there. So if we know that one of these angles is 77, what's the missing angle? What's x worth? Well, we've got to look at the number pair that goes with 77 to make 180. What's the value that, when subtracted from 180, leaves 77? Pause it if you're still working, and then you can see that it is 103, because 180 subtract 77 makes 103. So that gap is always going to take us up to 180 as the sum. Here then we can see, rather than having one value missing, we've got two values missing. Similar process, we've got 180 when we've got our horizontal value, and what we need to do is get 180, subtract the first section, subtract the second section, and then find out what that middle section of x is. What we could do to facilitate that being quicker, add the two sections that we know together, so add 49 to 78, and then subtract that value from 180. Lots of you doing that. So 180 subtract. What are you going to subtract from it? 8 plus 9 is 17. 17 plus the 70 is 87. 87 plus the 40 is 127. So 180 subtract 127 is 53. Okay, so 53 degrees is the value that was missing there. Well done for working through that. A little bit of reasoning now with Reese. He's measuring angles on a straight line. He says there are 3 angles on the line. One is 100, one is 15, and the other is 55. So could he be right or could he not be right? Remember the value of the horizontal line. Remember what value it was that Kyron was shouting out. 2 right angles, remember, make that value. 1 right angle is 90, so what would 2 right angles be? And if that's correct, could those 3 angles on a different line, but the same idea, could they total 100 add 15 add 55? Pause it while you work through that. If you're still working through, I'll give you a clue. He's not correct. Why is he not correct? Why is he incorrect? Hopefully you've worked that through now and you can see that he's not correct because angles total 170, not 180 degrees. So Reese was incorrect because he'd forgotten it needs to be 180. Always 180 on that straight line. Okay, guys. 4 questions on this sheet now. So you've got the value to match to the statement for 5A and 5B, and then you've got true or false ones for 6A and 6B. Pause your video while you work through these, please. Okay, guys, once you're ready to move on, then I'll show you the answers just now. We can see that 1 right angle is worth 90 degrees. We can see that straight line is 180, and 90 plus 90 plus 90, so 3 right angles is 270. We can see that 2 right angles, so 90 plus 90 is 180. Half a right angle would be 45, and 2 straight lines is 360, because that's 180 add 180. False because it's 190 degrees, not 180 degrees, and it's true when we add those 2 values together. Second section here, we've got some missing angles. Now, if you're not sure, then I'll give you a little bit of a clue in a second at 11B and 12A. So have a pause if you are sure what they indicate. If you're not sure, then I'll tell you that sometimes when we've got a right angle, we don't write the number on that blue square, and it can be any color, but that's that square section that's drawn within the corner, within the vertices between the horizontal and the vertical line indicates that where that blue square is in these, it's a right angle. Okay, so we sometimes indicate a right angle with a square drawn between the vertices. Okay, and we know that a right angle is, well done, Fatima, 90 degrees. Okay, pause the video while you work through 11A for the missing angle, 11B, 11C, sorry, 12A and 12B. Looking at 11A, we know that it's half a right angle, so half of 90 would be 45. And when we know that, we can see that 45 add 28 is 73. 73 plus 107 is 180. And there we've got 90 because that blue mark indicates 90 degrees, plus 41 makes 131, plus 49 makes 180. The second one here, we've got 37 because 37 is added to the 53 to make 90. 90 plus the blue 90 makes 100. And here we've got 73, which we're adding to 8/10 of a right angle, or 1/10 divided by denominator. 1/10 would be 9. Multiply by the numerator of 8. 8 times 9 makes 72. 72 plus 73 makes 145. 145 is 35 smaller, than 180. Okay, so well done for working through that if you have done. Looking at our sheet in the main part of your lesson today, guys, just a couple of little things with this. I know you're all reticent about using bar models, but do have a go with them. And with these, for number 4, where you've got those values, if you're finding them a bit challenging, if you look at this 100 square and the bar models in numbers 2 and number 5, try and draw your own versions of those. It'll help you sort out what the values are worth. 10 horizontal lines, 10 vertical lines in your book, and it'll help you work through those values, okay? And here, do you think you need a bar model? Do you think you need 100 square? Think about those different ways of representing that using a diagram. And I look forward to seeing how you show through that. Guys, I appreciate how hard you're working. Those of you at home having a go at the sheets each day, whether they're in a book or not, that's great. Please send them in, or get whoever's at home to send them in on Tuesday and on Thursday each week, and I'll try and mark them as quickly as I can, and I look forward to seeing them. Thank you very much for your effort and your listening.